Dahomey was one of the effectively controlled kingdoms that existed in Africa. The kingdom existed in the West African sub-region. A good part of the territories of Dahomey can be found in the modern-day Republic of Benin. It is believed that the Republic of Benin changed its name from Dahomey in 1975. Note that the Republic of Benin bear no direct relationship with the ancient Benin Empire. Please, if you're watching us for the very first time, subscribe to our channel and click on the notification icon so that anytime we drop a new content, you'll be one of the earliest persons to be notified. We appeal to you to as well share our contents. According to Kevin Shillington, Dahomey Kingdom was founded in the 17th century. Shillington presented it in this way. He stated that a small group of Aja from the coastal kingdom of Alada moved northwards and settled among the Fon people. The latter hitherto lived in a loosely linked collection of rural villages. Within few years, the Aja began to assert their authority over the Fon. In doing so, they founded the new kingdom of Dahomey with its capital at Abomey. The kingdom was organized as a powerful centralized state under the kingship of Wejaba, who became the king in about 1650. One major method that the kings in Dahomey used to strengthen nationalism was the push for total submission to the king's authority. This move can be traced to Wejaba, who was a powerful king in Dahomey Kingdom. He was said to have declared that as a king, he was the ultimate owner of the land. This gave him the right to introduce direct taxation on the produce of the land, which was only lent to its residents. Royal powers were strengthened by the introduction of a kingship succession system where the eldest son of the king takes over. This reduced the power of the village chiefs in matters of kingship succession. To strengthen the existence and influence of the kingdom, the kings exploited the full benefit of slave trade. They exchanged captives for firearms from the Europeans at the coastal area. To gain direct access to the trade with the Europeans at the coast, Dahomey conquered Alada and Wada in the 1720s. Another king that was very instrumental to the growth and the strength of Dahomey was Agaja, who reigned from 1716 to 1740. Some accounts suggested that Agaja attempted to stop slave trade by requesting to the European merchants to set up plantation in his territory. Kevin Shillington presented this account in this way. He stated that according to this account, Agaja is reported to have asked Europeans to establish plantation in Dahomey using slave labor, so that the labor of these slaves would not actually be lost to Africa. This request was not adhered to by the European merchants that he discussed with. These Europeans were not interested because the transatlantic slave system was already very profitable to them. They also believed that any plantation in Dahomey would be beyond their control. Unfortunately, Agaja did not press further. He discarded this move because his kingdom relied on the transatlantic slave trade medium to acquire firearms. He and his successors continued to sell captives from their numerous wars of expansion to the European dealers. The absolute control of the king under the kingdom created a type of nationalist attitude to the people. I.A. Akinjobin described it in this way. He stated that by 1708, it had been accepted by every Dahomeyan citizen that his life must be devoted to the service of his king, and that to die in the service was his greatest reward. The control of chieftaincy and also the control of chieftaincy title was another way of strengthening this nationalist attitude. Titles were bestowed on those that the king wished to give. Efficient chiefs were rewarded and promoted. Those that were disloyal were punished, even up to the point of being put to death. Another important thing that helped the kingdom was the special military system creation. This military system was established by Agaja. This system was the system based on military scheme training for young boys, under which each adult soldier was allowed at state expense to take with him to war front. In this system, every strong warrior was expected to take some young boys with him in a war situation. In this war situation, the young boys were expected to sit near the war front in order to understudy this powerful warrior or these powerful warriors, and the state handled the expenses. So they were to sit and watch their appointed masters fighting, and they were not to leave the battlefield until told to do so. Most of them grew to become very powerful soldiers. Another thing that was attributed to Agaja was the establishment of a body of spies. These spies were sent to kingdoms around in order to find details or to get details of their military strength and defenses. The information they gathered were used in planning attacks and as well used towards the control of such places. These socio-political realities helped in strengthening the powers of the kings under the Dahomey Kingdom. It also helped to bestow loyalty of the citizens towards the king or the kingdom as well. The major problem that the Dahomey Kingdom faced was her great rivalry with Oyo Empire. Under Agaja, Dahomey Kingdom was in serious situation or rivalry with the Oyo Empire. Dahomey was able to carry out some expansion activities to the point of conquering some other powerful kingdoms, but found it difficult to deal with Oyo Empire. The major focus for the expansionist activities of the Dahomey Kingdom was mainly to control coastal trade. Two notable territories that were conquered by Agaja were Alada and Waida. I.A. Akinjobin documented it in this way. He stated that the incorporation of Alada and Waida into the enlarged kingdom of Dahomey marked the end of the chaos in the old Aja kingdoms. The sagging fate in the traditional order, the civil wars, the inter-kingdom rivalries, all were ended by Dahomey's strong arm. The rivalry between Dahomey and Oyo was a great source of worry to the rulers of Dahomey. The rivalry did not favor Dahomey. Dahomey was not able to subdue Oyo. This was expressed this way by Kevin Shellington. He stated that Oyo invaded Dahomey 4 times in the late 1720s. Agaja was unable to repulse the Oyo cavalry, and in the 1730s he agreed to pay tribute to the Alaafin of Oyo. The Alaafin happened to be the title of the king of Oyo Empire. Dahomey Kingdom benefited greatly from slave trade. The kings were great slave dealers. The kings as well taxed other Dahomeyan slave dealers. Most of the slaves sold by the kings of Dahomey were people captured mainly in their wars of expansion. Taxes were paid by other slave dealers, and taxes were paid in form of cowrie shares, which in the 18th century had become the most widespread currency in West Africa. The royal house at a time went into plantation establishment that were manned by slave labor. With the reduction and abolition of slave trade, Dahomey turned into the production of palm oil. This palm oil were sold to the Europeans, and this signified a change from the transatlantic slave trade to the other forms of produce. Thank you for being part of this channel. We will appreciate it if you comment your position and your suggestion, and as well your contribution. If you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe and share our content.